Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie for those who don't know me, reviewing Ready to Love season 9 episode 7. Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell and leave a comment down below. I have a lot of notes today. So I think I'm just going to read my notes verbatim because I don't want to miss a thing. So this week is Guy's choice, and they're introducing their exes to their potentials. The first to introduce their ex is Maurier. The ex's name is Jessica, and she's being introduced to Janelle and Jessica. Now, Maurier is saying that he wants to know the women's sexual appetite and spiritual expression. And I'm here just like, I feel like these are conversations you should have had by this point in the experience, and you definitely should not be asking them via your ex.
His new partner, what would you like for this person to have qualities that would be able to support him?
I would start with a sexual appetite.
Okay.
Tarot cards, metaphysical, is that a deal breaker for you?
This man never mentioned anything about burning incense, tarot cards, crystals, energy reading.
Wouldn't want to date anyone who likes to dibble and dabble in the occult. I just want to make sure that, I am aware of who you serve and who sent you.
This was very bad on bad on bad on bad on bad on bad on bad. Bad on bad. The first one being the whole sexual appetite thing. Why would I want to talk about that with another woman that you were dating? And worse, a woman you have previously been in a relationship with. What does our sex life have to do with your ex-girlfriend? Our adult business stays in our adult relationship. Why am I disclosing this in front of your ex? In front of your next potential? If I'm not the option, like what are we doing? And then when Jessica pulls out the tarot cards, I was like, listen, I'm not a person who's going to denounce anybody else's beliefs. You believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. Let's respect each other in those situations, right? But at this point in the dating process, I would think Maurier would know that these women are Christian women. Why are you now bringing tarot cards? Like, I'm sorry. I was here with Janelle for the most part when she was saying, listen, as a Christian woman, like, I don't even want to dabble into these things. I'm the same. When I was young, even certain shows that I would be interested in, I would never even turn my head to those shows anymore just because I don't want to expose myself to certain spiritual things. And so when Maurier was talking about organized religion not being for him anymore and him just being focused on the spiritual, I was thinking like, oh, I walk with Christ, but I might not be an everyday church, every week church goer. But he's talking about a whole different spiritual world going on. And so, yeah, and as much as I was agreeing with Janelle and Jessica being like, not for me, I think that Janelle could have handled it a little bit more respectfully because she was kind of coming at his beliefs now, like, oh, pagan things. Oh no, I don't bring your cultish stuff. I'm like, okay, you could just say that that's not for me. I'm uncomfortable, and I'd rather we either talk about something else or I dismiss myself from the date. Quentin is next, and he introduces his date, Bree, to both Janelle and Lee. I cannot be the only one who was waiting to see if there was going to be a Latina or a Caucasian woman at this date, but no. It was a black woman.
Like the kissing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How are you guys feeling about that?
We're dating multiple people.
Sure,
it kind of feels a little...
So basically, it sounds like y'all both trying to wait till each other's eliminated. I wanted exclusivity, and he did not.
I did not.
So.
Okay.
I kind of went ghost on her the other day just because I was in my mind a lot about the process, and I was like, man, I was a little overwhelmed.
I loved Bree's energy. She was so receptive to the women. She she just such jovialness about her. I loved her. It was great. I finally got my answers regarding Lee and Quentin's connection. Basically, Quentin's energy has been placed more on Janelle than it has been for Lee, and Lee has sensed that prior to this date. On this date, he further emphasized that, which made her fall back, whether intentionally or unintentionally. She did kind of, suppress herself in this date. It didn't do her any favors because Bree and Quentin were then saying like, oh, Lee took a backseat, not really liking that. We like how Janelle took charge of the date. I think it was last week's episode. I was basically saying I think that Lee is buying time in this process. I don't think anybody is interested in her anymore. Even in the beginning, I think that her strongest connection was only Quentin. But Quentin, I was going to say Quentin wants that vibrant thing, but vibrant thing, vibrant thing, based on the song, refers to a young woman. So yeah, I think his focus is on Janelle, and Lee should just cut her losses. Well, upon further review, vibrant thing just means energetic, enthusiastic, and with high spirits. So maybe that is Janelle. It's not, but maybe. Also, before I hop off of them, the ex did say that in the past, Quentin did struggle with being exclusive. And so it was interesting to me watching him be kind of annoyed by Lee's lack of effort in their connection when it seems like he hasn't been giving her that effort either. I don't know if it's a situation of he would just rather be exclusive with Janelle, or if he still struggles with this exclusivity thing. No, but wait. No, I think the latter of what I just said is true, because he said, it feels like Lee is my girl. Then how is she your girl if your energy is elsewhere? Very evidently, too. Nah, he still struggles with this whole exclusivity thing. Chris introduces his ex, Valerie, to Aries and Jessica. Jessica just brought up the strength in the room, and it made both Valerie and Chris a little bit uncomfortable.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm a hugger. You want a handshake? Hug, boo. Come on, keep it all in.
Do you feel like you received support from him as well?
No.
No.
No, he couldn't. He didn't have the capacity. I was there in servitude.
That is not going to be something that I can be a part of or be able or willing to do.
If I am perceiving things correctly, it seems as if Chris wants a traditional kind of marriage. Doesn't fully surprise me as a Nigerian boy. I'm an African girl. Like, it's just how we're raised for the most part. Jessica's not here for that. Jessica is not trying to take a backseat in her marriage. She's not trying to be in servitude to her husband. Now, I don't know. Okay, so some people misconstrued what I said in the last video, basically saying like, sometimes women are jaded, but other times a certain man brings out those like characteristics of being in servitude, kind of like that cater to you type of woman. I feel like a certain man can bring that out of you. I don't think Chris brings that out of Jessica, but I also don't know if anybody would be able to bring that out of Jessica. Like, that's the part that I'm not sure of. I just know that when it comes to Chris, she ain't doing it. We didn't get an answer on whether or not Aries would be willing to be in servitude to Chris. However, he does like her maternal characteristics. He likes how nurturing she is. Not to say that Aries isn't that, but I think that he's so fixated on that maybe he's building his hopes up to potentially be disappointed. I don't know. The way that he just focused on the fact that she's so nurturing. She's a multifaceted woman. I would like to know if he's okay with them being equals in their relationship and not her be taking a backseat to his, I was going to say leadership, but I don't think that's the word. I think people are going to take that wrong if I say leadership. Y'all know what I'm saying. I don't know if she's going to be in the servitude role either. I feel like Aries is more like no, we're equal partners in this marriage. Herbert introduces his ex, what was his ex's name? Melanie, to Janelle. Honey, Janelle is a hot commodity. If you ask her, she'll tell you that too, so I'm not surprised.
I want to be a parent. I don't know if I want to have children. I'm getting older. I would like to be engaged by the end of this year, start at the top of next year.
You want your own kids, Herbert, so...
Yeah, I'm shooting up somebody's club. Yeah.
So Janelle has apparently flipped the script on Herbert, saying that she doesn't want to bear her own children. However, she does want to be a mother, maybe being a bonus mom, but definitely through adoption. Herbert is like, I need my own kids, though. I'm shooting up somebody's club. These are his words, not mine. Yeah, this is a tricky one. It's a tricky one because it's not like she doesn't want to be a mom, but some people when they have a vision of having their own kids, like that's the only thing that they're going to see. I just wonder, okay, if he was with somebody who was infertile, would it be a different decision? Would it be a different like reaction from him? Because from Janelle, I don't know what the reason is for her not wanting to bear her own kids, but the fact of the matter is that's not what she wants to do, right? So yeah, Herbert being so like, ugh, they gotta be from my woman's womb. That was interesting. Janelle says that she has a timeline on when she wants to get married. Now, I don't know how realistic this timeline is going to be because they struggle to even have these fundamental conversations. This children topic, the fact that he is now being blindsided by this topic is like, well, girl, in a year, I feel like you really got to get these hard-hitting conversations out the gate. Like you got to spitfire them. By the end of the year, that means by reunion time, when we watch it, there should be a marriage arrangement in the works, you know? So yeah, they're struggling to have fundamental conversations, but even conversations in general, because apparently Herbert is a little flaky. He's aloof. Yeah, Janelle, I don't think your end of the year plan is going to work out. Maurier brings Jessica around again, maybe third time's a charm, and she gets to meet Sierra. The goal of this conversation is to see if Sierra can be a friend that turns into a lover.
Didn't she look just like Quintinella? What is her name?
I missed it, man. But we still good friends, though.
Yeah.
You had missed it?
Yeah, I messed up. I put it on me. I put the blame on me.
What are your beliefs on premarital sex?
Oh, absolutely. I believe that you're supposed to because I want to test drive that car. No, for real. I feel like Jessica would probably have to fall the back, sit in the back seat. Actually get out the car and we'll meet you there.
I'm with Sierra on this one. With Maurier and his ex, it seems as if things ended not on his accord. And so if the ex was to maybe crack the door open, who's to say Maurier wouldn't walk through it? Yeah, it seems like there's some unfinished business there. On top of that, his ex and baby mother is on TikTok still talking about Maurier. So I'm just like, when it comes to Maurier's exes, it seems like there's things there that he needs to handle before another woman comes in. And as much as he doesn't think it's there for Sierra, I don't think it should be there for anybody, Maurier. You got some things to handle at your camp. In a turn of events, it is actually Philip who brings the non-Black woman to the date. And we didn't hear not a peep from Kira. The woman's name is Amina. Amina is Philip's ex, and she meets, I think Aries was in there, was she? Yeah, she meets Aries, Katarina, and Kira.
I didn't know if we were friend zoning here. I mean, I was hanging out with him all the time, but there was not that physical affection.
He had his hand on my leg under the table at that moment, so he's very affectionate. I was like, I'm not understanding what you're saying right now.
I've dated a couple men who have kids. My preference is men with no children.
So we got nothing from Kira. She had all that smoke for Quentin. She ain't got nothing for Phil. Or maybe they didn't film it. I don't know. But she did have things to say about his lack of ambition, the lack of purpose in his life, and the fact that she doesn't want to date a man with children. Okay, so you don't like Phil. All right, let's just cancel that out. Then there's a theme with women feeling as if Phil's physical affection needs some help. So the ex was saying that they struggled with that. The current girls, Kira and Katarina, were saying like, well, that's something that I need. Physical touch is very important to me. Aries, however, doesn't have an issue in that department. She feels like the physical affection is top notch. And so I'm inclined to believe that maybe Phil just didn't like y'all. Maybe Phil only likes Aries. In the deliberation, we have Quentin, who says he did not like how Lee's energy shifted on their date. The men like Janelle's thug tendencies. All right. And Maurier shares how badly the date went.
Janelle looked at it like, this is like some cult-like type stuff. And I was just like, oh my God. I probably lost 2 connections at once.
What the chorus say?
This was so confusing for me because, again, I'm not judging anybody's beliefs. When Maurier was saying, oh, I needed Jesus in the room, and then was also like comfortable with the whole tarot card readings and stuff like that. I'm not even saying tarot cards are demonic or that side of the spiritual world is demonic. What I am saying is that the way that I've been raised and the things that I believe is that the Holy Spirit doesn't dwell in those spaces. Like the Holy Spirit and tarot reading and the crystals and stuff, like they don't really go hand in hand. That's what I was raised to believe. And so I was wondering how he mistook the women's perception of spirituality and thought they would be okay with his perception of spirituality. It is all in conjunction with the spiritual world, but it's different worlds altogether. At the end of the episode, we learned that Lee is in the bottom 3. However, she's not in jeopardy of going home. The women in jeopardy are Sierra, because she gives homey vibes, and Kira, because of the blackness issue again. Ultimately, she was the one who went home.
Whether or not you wanted to date someone with kids. So I think that was a point of concern. You know, the culture thing came up and all of that.
Again?
I'm the messenger.
The black culture thing is very offensive. I'm gonna be honest with you, I am a little relieved. I was very happy to hear that because there's a disconnect from me as well. It just felt like it was mutual.
Yeah, some of the guys have kids, so her not wanting to be with a man with kids just rules her out of the process just in general. And then the blackness thing, it's just always going to be a thing. In this episode, she did admit that there are things that she has said that could have rubbed the men the wrong way, so she understands where this thinking is now coming from. I think she's also done interviews and she's apologized for the things that she has said. However, she feels like a lot of it is misunderstood. So you can take that for what it is. She was checked out, if you ask me. Unless she was checking someone, she was checked out. So I'm not surprised that she's happy to leave. She says she feels relieved, actually. And in the next episode, it is going to be the best friends of the women meeting the men. It's always interesting. It looks like Herbert is not going to have a great time, but we will see how that pans out for him. As always, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.